Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a dream watch from a company that makes nothing but Grail and dream watches, and in the amount of about 150 pieces per year. From Bethune, this is the DB25RM Reserve de Manche. 44 millimeters in white gold. It's a handsome combination of remarkably elegant gossamer spare lugs, a strong central case, guilloche dial, and the phenomenal Bethune 2024 6-day automatic caliber on the case back. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the fit, because fit and feel come first. I'm going to back off a little bit and give you a wide shot of the watch on my wrist. 44 millimeters, but it doesn't wear that way. The watch wears more like a 42. It's easy to wear because of those short, stubby, and gorgeous welded lugs. Now you can see that the case is not thick. At 11.4 millimeters thick, the watch is actually slimmer than a Rolex Daytona, so it will fit underneath the cuff. Lug to lug, it's not nearly as broad as you'd expect from a 44, stretching 51.5 millimeters, and it's an easy 51.5 to wear on a small wrist. I would rate this watch for a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference. The lug spacing is broad and contemporary, 24 millimeters, so the watch has a planted footing and stance, and you can see that it does use a Bethune factory strap. I'll take a quick look at this. Nice and slim. You can see large rectangular scale alligator leather, black monotone stitch folded edge, more gator on the underside, small scale. The small scale a little bit more supple, but the key here is having gator on both sides means that this strap will last far longer than a hybrid calfskin and alligator strap. Gator on the bottom tends to wear far longer against skin oils and moisture than calfskin. Simple, no nonsense, and fluid in form. This is the Bethune factory pin buckle. You can see it's signed on the bottom and handsome in that it somewhat echoes the lines of the cabochon style lug ends, and you can see that cabochon style lug end right there, and you can see it echoed in the buckle. Design parallelism, that is a sign of attention to detail. Now the case band itself is strong but simple. It's principally formed by the junction between the bezel in the mid case and the case back in the mid case, so there's a couple of strong horizontals, and then you have those skeletonized, broad, sculptural, almost architecturally inspired scaffolding like lugs. The timepiece features a custom knurled crown, and you will note that it's been drilled out all around its circumference. So the knurling itself is reductive rather than welded, embossed, or machined. And you can see that the case band is all of high polish, the dial is all of guilloche, and you will note that there are several different planes to the dial. The dial featuring a sort of undulating rose lathe pattern that explodes out from the center in a sort of sunburst, and you'll also appreciate the fact that there's a billowy rounded hour track with transferred deep blue Roman numerals. You'll also note at center fired hands to create that gorgeous iridescent blue, and then a small power reserve indicator up at 12 o'clock that traces the 6 days of power reserve supplied by the watch's twin mainspring barrels. And there is a railroad style minutes track outboard. Turn it all over and you can see the caliber. This is caliber 2024, and it is an automatic winder with two mainspring barrels, self-adjusting, 6-day power reserve, triple parachute, that is, let's get super close and give some details here, but a triple parachute shock protection system that features shock protection springs of Bethune's own manufacture on the edges of the full balance bridge, so you get the stability of a full bridge, and you get the shock resistance of not just Inca block, but the full triple parachute shock protection at the center, shock protection at the edges. You'll appreciate the blued titanium to create the blue tones, and though you can't quite see it, the balance wheel is actually made of blued titanium and platinum teardrop style masses to create as much polar moment as possible within the space of the balance. It's Bethune's own balance of their own design. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and though you can't quite see it, although you can see the edge from this angle, and you can see the critical detail of the, let me see if I can get a polishing cloth, you can see the proprietary hairspring design. It's a flat hairspring with the shock protection hardiness of a flat hairspring versus an overcoil, but you can see there's almost a dog leg in its outer face. It's thicker and it's kinked. That allows the flat hairspring to beat concentrically like an overcoil would. And beyond your view, there is a silicone escape wheel of de Bethune's own design. You can see the design of the movement aesthetically very much de Bethune's original style, with decorative jewels used at center over the ratcheting mechanism of the winding system. It's a handsome movement with blackened screws and a handsome combination of satin finish and blasted finish. Progressive, technologically oriented, a little bit space age, and a watch that nevertheless follows the most noble traditions of traditional watchmaking. Once again, from a brand under essentially one watchmaking genius in Denis Flageolet, a man who makes 150 watches with his team from his sole manufacturer. De Bethune is a brand on the rise. Give me a choice between de Bethune and almost any other independent. It's not going to be a choice. It's going to be mandatory. From a company that only makes grill watches, the DB25 reserved to Marsh.